Hello everybody, hope that you are very well and welcome to this evening's cryptocurrency technical analysis. Well, well, obviously right now we're seeing quite a bit of a move up on the Bitcoin chart. And tonight I want to go over Bitcoin and two altcoins that are exploding right now. Obviously starting with Bitcoin. This is, as you all know, if you follow this channel for the last few years, we obviously absolutely love Bitcoin. Yes, altcoins are pretty fun right now, but Bitcoin's always going to be around. Bitcoin is always there for us when we need it. And I want to cover Bitcoin first because this is basically my favorite thing to trade. Quite a move up, obviously, yesterday in the end. Continued to see that rise to the upside, which is pretty good. But we are now running, in my opinion, into a very big resistance. And it's actually a level that I do not think many people know about. Yes, if you're in the champions group, you know about the level, but it's not really a level that's well known per se. Yeah, there's not many people that have recognized it. I want to go over this level that we're obviously rejecting from right now. Obviously talk about the possibility if we are to put in another low high here, you know, what we would be looking down towards, you know, overall basically just going over some of the targets for the move. Okay. So I hope that you really enjoy that tonight. So once I've covered Bitcoin, I'm going to then cover the altcoins, or two of my favorite altcoins anyway. And depending on the time, I think I would say definitely depending on the time, however long the stream goes on for, I might do some extra ones at the end. But I want to try and keep this stream, famous last words, I want to try and keep this stream under 30 minutes. But yeah, if you're watching this tomorrow, then you're gonna see whether that was a success or not. But I do not want this stream to go on for ages, really. Okay, I want to try and keep it short and sweet and just to the point here. So starting off obviously with Bitcoin. And if you haven't watched the video that I made a few days ago, I kind of recommend you go and watch it because obviously we covered quite a lot in that video. It was like a 30-minute video itself. But if you haven't watched, I'm going to do a really quick, like 2-3 minute recap of this section of the price chart, because I will always say, why is it good to look back through the last, few days of price action? One, so you can learn from how I traded it. Two, because what's happening right now is directly correlated with the price action that we've just came out of. So if you do not understand why we're trading where we are right now, because of the patterns that we're coming out of, you're basically trading totally blind. So you need to have the prior context to understand what resistance we're hitting into right now. So I know people have already seen this, so I'm going to try and keep this, 3 minutes long, really quick recap of this price action, and then we'll go over on to what's happening right now. Okay, so let's start with the recap. 3-minute timer, start the stopwatch, let's go. So obviously it all started back it started back on the 22nd of October. We originally rejected off of overall $68,000. As you'll know, I have that short from $66,000. We obviously made our way down. As soon as we were making our way down, the initial thought was head and shoulders. What does that mean? It means I'm pre-anticipating another move back to the highs, form a right shoulder, and then back down below. So I'm pre-anticipating very early on the pattern that I want to see before it's even there. Yeah, this is what I always tell you. Trading is a game of chess, and if you can think 5 steps ahead of your opponent, you already know the trade that they're going to be taking before they've even recognized that they're going to be taking it themselves. Yeah, so I'm very not to sound overly arrogant, but I'm pretty good. I've been doing this 10 years now. I have so much experience, so much just times trading the same things. I'm just very good at recognizing early on patterns that are going to form before they've even formed. Talk about market maker level right there. And so I was recognizing this head and shoulders straight away. Okay, so we bring ourselves on. Obviously, we lost that weekly level of support, closed the short that I had from the daily, and obviously was looking for longs to basically give us that right shoulder. The right shoulder obviously did start to form. We'd done our fake out of the weekly. I really wanted to see the weekly lost, e.g. for a liquidity grab before we saw any higher. So exactly obviously what we got, and we made our way up. Where did we make our way up to and reject from? Well, $63,800. This is the level that I wanted to see for the zone, basically to take the highs and give us the top of our right shoulder. Okay, as you can see in the time, we come up, we tap $63,800. We tap $63,800. We get a swing failure pattern, and that really gives us our right shoulder full potential, fully underway. So from originally looking for the longs around the weekly, we obviously got our swing failure pattern of the low. We then get our swing failure pattern of the high. We start to imagine ourselves, okay, we basically want to see this move down. Why? Because we want to form the right shoulder. Okay, so moving along, as you all know, the reason I'm going to show you this pitchfork again is because it's actually coming into play again today, still in play today. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. An amazing pitchfork, what can I say? But very early on, recognizing the pitchfork that we had right here. This is obviously connecting the high to the low to the high. Sorry if I'm going a bit quick for some people. I know that we do have beginners here, but yeah, I am going to go through this fairly quick. I kind of apologize, but I need to. And obviously, in the end, we put in our pitchfork, which had 6 absolute perfect touches. In the end, obviously breaking down. What was that? That was obviously good for us overall because we actually formed then our right shoulder. What happened? We bounced off the weekly one more time. Where did we bounce off of the weekly? Well, if we add on that pitchfork one more time, I will show you the absolute perfection of this pitchfork, because after bouncing off that weekly level, okay, you can see we come back up, back test that pitchfork absolutely perfectly with the weekly, and we reject down towards our monthly level. Okay, so you know, everything here is really, really, really great. We drop down, we get the back test of the weekly, which obviously, as you just saw there, was the perfect retest, literally to the dollar of the pitchfork. Pretty amazing stuff. And then that brings us down towards our monthly level. And this is where I'm showing people, okay, this monthly level, this has now given us from the original prediction of obviously wanting that head and shoulders pattern. We had our left shoulder, we had a head. We now finally have our right shoulder. Yeah, we finally now have our right shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Obviously, in the champion streams, I do a thing called Trade of the Week. It's basically where I give basically a golden setup that I truly feel is going to be an absolutely golden, legendary setup, so to speak. And this was the one that I gave on Sunday in the last Champions live stream on the 24th of October, envisaging a move to the highs, take out the highs, drop it down for the right shoulder, drop it down below the lows of the head and shoulders, get everybody scared, get everybody bearish, get everybody selling, rise. Okay, once we've got the rise, we want the retest, and then obviously pump it, I suppose. So this is a little bit more of a zoomed in view. If you want to see a little bit of a more zoomed in view, we had the left shoulder, we had the head. Very early on, I'm thinking I want the right shoulder. I then want it to break down below the lows, get everybody scared. Textbook patterns are going to be like, this is a good time to short. We saw, I kind of do my own research on this now as well. We saw, quote unquote, the big YouTubers, you know, all calling for really bearish targets. They were, hey, the head and shoulders is broken down exactly as predicted. The target's $52,000. You know, my eyes right now are lighting up as I see this. It's just like everything is coming together absolutely, you know, exactly what I wanted to see, you know, 1 week before it happened. And then to see it happen was obviously quite special. Okay, obviously in the end, we did get the move up. We did short squeeze everybody that shorted the breakdown of the head and shoulders exactly as predicted. Okay, what did we want to see? Obviously, once we had seen this move to the upside, this actually left people, well, I know especially people from the Champions group. I've done a live stream last night, and actually this is while we were actually sitting up at the highs, and many people actually had missed this move because obviously buying the unconfirmed fake out of the head and shoulders is risky. So you really want to see a retest. Okay, and actually you were given a pretty perfect scenario. In the end, we obviously moved back up to that exact same weekly level. This is not a new weekly level. We moved up to the weekly level. As you can see, this is another exactly the same as this. Move above the high, close back below. That was a swing failure pattern. Here you see above the last high, a move above the high, come back down below, swing failure pattern of the weekly on the high to low Fibonacci retracement CC. Okay, this is a bearish swing failure pattern. I'll then show you last night. This was a champions live. This was actually for the contenders and champions 21 hours ago. I was telling my team, overall, I'm expecting higher. Overall, I am bullish. But this is obviously a very key level of resistance that we have to be aware of. I personally had taken a short position for a hedge. Remembering that I'm in massive long positions, by the way, I'm still going to take a short here because I recognize the level of resistance that we've got. Simple as that, no? We had, this is known as a 3 drives pattern, a very legendary pattern based off of Fibonacci. Basically what this pattern was foreseeing was basically another move down, take the lows, and then another pump to the upside. E.g., this is a pattern that wrecks a lot of people. Reject offered a swing failure pattern, or this region really, obviously I was looking up to the daily naked point of control, but I knew this was a zone. This was obviously a big level of resistance. In the end, we reject off the weekly, and what happens? We make our way down for a 3 drives pattern. We take the low one more time, and we pump. So you can see obviously the 3 drives, 1, 2, obviously drive 1, drive 2, and then this was, as I was saying here, one of the quickest patterns to play out in the history of Bitcoin. I'm not going to lie, extremely quick, but I'm not going to complain about it. We got the last drive. We actually come down, we took the lows, and we got another pump off the back of it. Come down, take the lows, get another pump out of that. That is a 3 drives pattern. Extremely powerful pattern based off of Fibonacci. And that kind of brings us up to pretty much where we are now. So from the original, obviously, idea of the head and shoulders, you can see here, we wanted to see the rise of the right shoulder up to the highs, which we literally managed to get with the swing failure pattern. We came up to those highs, and then obviously we come back down. We got our move up. In the end, we got the retest. I personally was not stopped out of my longs on this because, I was basically ready. I kind of had an idea that we might do something like this. We obviously got the 3 drives pattern. We got our move back to the upside, and then it brings us up to the level of resistance where we are now. So from the original prediction, that was the original prediction, and this is the outcome. I think we can pretty much say pretty impressive, no? Pretty impressive. And then obviously that brings us up to then where we are right now. So that was a little bit longer than 3 minutes, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a little bit longer than 3 minutes, but I hope you've learned something from that, because right now some of those calls have been pretty epic. That's pretty epic. I sometimes impress myself. So if I do sometimes impress myself. Anyway, moving on. The reason why I've kept this pitchfork on here is because I want to show you just the absolute brilliance of this pitchfork, by the way. Okay, after we actually saw that move to the downside, we ran obviously the lows to complete the 3 drives pattern. After running those lows, just look at this pitchfork. We obviously came back up towards the high, and then we backtest the middle of that pitchfork. We stay range bound in the pitchfork. We broke out of the pitchfork, and then we start to hold it as support. Okay, we hold it as support, and what I absolutely loved about it here, you can see we retest that pitchfork once again. This pitchfork was from a few days ago, but this is the thing that I would say: if you have a channel that's well respected, why would you delete it? Yeah, if you have a pitchfork that's well respected, why would you delete it? Well, the answer is you shouldn't, because I'm showing you right now why you shouldn't. We basically broke the pitchfork. We started to backtest it as support, and then we see another really, really, really nice move to the upside. Okay, so if we then come back on a 15-minute time frame, let's come on a 15-minute time frame, and now I want to show you something which I don't think many people are aware of. Okay, and this is really, really, really powerful, and this is what I mean. Analysis that you're seeing today, analysis that you've seen over the past 10 years I've been doing analysis. This is analysis that's unique. This is analysis that is original. This is analysis that you are not going to see anywhere else, period. It's all my own analysis. The only time you will see this analysis anywhere else is if it is somebody that is within our group, if it is somebody that watches my videos and then reproduces the content pretending it's their own. This is 100% the first time you are ever going to see any of the analysis that you see on this stream. It is all my analysis, and we are ahead of the game, period. We are massively ahead of the game. And I know people copy our content, so that's just a disclaimer. But so I want to show you this really magic level. What we're going to do is we're going to take our fixed range tool. This is looking at all of the volume. Yeah, we're looking at all of the volume. I want to take it from the start of obviously when we do the pitchfork, we do it high, low to the high. Take this fixed range tool from the start of the pitchfork to not the first low, but the second low, which gave us that pitchfork. And then look at this. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to expand the point of control of what formed that pitchfork. And I mean, this is the thing. You cannot view this as an exact dollar. It's obviously a bit of a zone. But look at this. Why is this volume so important? Because this is the volume that actually formed a pitchfork in the first place. Really, 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 really important. And then if you actually look at this and we zoom in a little bit more on how that pitchfork went, remembering I recognized this pitchfork first in the world, period, and then it gave us 7 absolute perfect trades. If you actually look at the point of control that formed that pitchfork, we hit it once at the top of the pitchfork for a rejection. We hit it twice at the top of the pitchfork for a rejection. Really, really, really perfect. So we're keeping on that level and we're actually moving across here. And we can recognize this is, of course, still a resistance. Okay, and again, I am going to say it's a zone. We can look, you know, if this is coming in at $63,000, we could say this is from, you know, 63,300 to 62,700, you know, a $300 zone either side of this. But this is clearly our resistance right now. Yeah, this is clearly our resistance right now, in my opinion. You know, from the way I trade, this is my resistance. Okay. Then you obviously are aware of 2 things. If this is resistance and we're looking for a pullback, where are some sensible levels to look for pullbacks? I mean, I could spend easily an hour going over that in itself. I'm not going to go so complex in this public video, but obviously one of the best things you can look for, generally speaking, is a CC Fibonacci retracement. This is just I'm not going to say it's a strong level of support because that would be incorrect. I'm just going to say if you have confluence, these levels offer nice scalp trades to begin with at the very least. Okay, that's obviously coming in at $61,000. The thing is that you always want to think, do you actually have any confluence at these levels at all? Okay, and I will really quickly tell you. So what level was I saying here? I was saying 61,300. Not really. CC 61 previous day POC. Okay, that's like 61k. 62. 1,500 intraday. Yes, so intraday you have a little bit of support. Really, this is the thing where you have to and again, if this is like really confusing, if you literally don't understand anything that I'm on about, my only suggestion really is to just join the contenders because this is where you learn all of the content. But you know, I kind of apologize if it is too hard for people. I can imagine it probably is, but yeah, I mean, I've taught all of this stuff if you have dedicated some time to learn it. So this is an intraday level of support. Would I say this is a really strong level of support? No, I don't think this is a really strong level of support. But is it an intraday level of support where we could look for scalps? Yes. Yeah, that is the case. Okay, if we are back on our weekly, obviously it was around, we have got some point of controls around here. We have got the weekly itself. So this obviously is a bit of a zone of support. Is it the strongest support in the world? No, but it's still your first next level of support. Okay, losing this, it's like one of these things. And again, if you're a member of the group, you know this is how I think. I'm very good at thinking in probabilities. Everything in my mind is ingrained in probabilities. Every trade that I'm taking on this chart, and I know some people are absolutely going to be in disbelief. There's no way this guy called every single move thus far. The truth is that I have. And that's what's pretty outstanding. Not only have we been able to recognize these moves, we've also been able to trade them. How have I traded them? By having confidence. By having confidence. It's like, hey, this is a short setup, let's take it. Hey, this is a long setup, let's take it. I'm not here overcomplicating things. I'm saying, here's a setup, I'm going to take it. If I win, brilliant. If I lose, I lost the trade. Yeah? I'm not looking to win every trade, but I am looking to take every time I get a setup. Yeah, that means not getting scared to take a setup and not getting too confident when there isn't a setup, waiting for the highest probability trades. Okay, so I recognize that this is obviously my next region of support to the downside. Could we say right now things are leaning bullish? Yes. Speaking in a probabilistic manner, yes, we have rejected from a level of resistance here, but we still maintain overall with a bullish bias. I still remain in long positions from lower down. Would I open a long position into this resistance? No. But would I still hold my long positions that I have from lower? Yes. I recognize this could be used as a take profit. This can be used as a hedge. But do I think that we get a full-blown reversal from here? Probabilistically speaking, that is unlikely. Should we lose levels of support, the probabilities increase that we see lower. No, this is exactly how you have to ingrain your way to think. And if you struggle to think in terms of probabilities, again, study the psychology module that we have on the website, because we got a whole psychology module dedicated to the emotions in trading, because that's the number one reason why people struggle. It's not because they cannot do the analysis. It's not because they don't comprehend support and resistances. It's because they get scared. They do not take the trade. They get greedy. They do not take profits. They see winners turn to losses. They see a trade that they should have took. They didn't take it. It pumps 1,000%. This is not because they're not able to do trading. This is because they get so emotional. I understand that, and that's why I place so much focus on psychology and emotions in this market. 100%. That's why you need to learn how to control them. Yeah, it's not that difficult, but it is rewiring your brain to do so. So probabilistically speaking, yes, we can actually think that we're going to go higher in this chart. If we are to breach this level, and again, if we can breach it and turn it into support, where is the next level? Well, the next level isn't actually that much further above us, okay? Obviously, your next level is still going to be this next zone, which is basically $64,300 to $63,700. A bit of a zone, but this was our last high, which we swing failure patterned to give us the fake out of the head and shoulders. Undeniably, still a big level of resistance. We cannot deny that. This is a level of resistance. Again, resistance can be broken and flipped into support. If that's the case, it's now support. It's no longer resistance. We're not trying to preempt this necessarily. We're just going to say, let's trade exactly what happens. Yeah. We can look for shorts off this level, but if we just blast straight through it, there was no trade to be had in the first place. So if we are to flip this level into support, we obviously can look up towards $65,000 as your next level of resistance. 65, really big level. So we have 3 levels above us then, which are resistance currently. If we break those levels, of course, they flip into support. We know our level to the downside should we get a bigger pullback. At the moment, do we think we're going to get a bigger pullback? Not necessarily, to be honest with you. Not necessarily. I recognize that this is a resistance, but there's not a massive amount of weakness. But I am prepared if I'm not going to say this is happening, by the way. I'm just saying if we fell off a cliff from here, hey, I'm ready for that. Yeah. And that's the best thing in trading, to be ready for it. This massive move that you saw to the downside, how many people do you think were not prepared for that, were not ready for that, and got absolutely wrecked by that, and then were too scared to enter after they had actually seen a bullish move? I would say 95% of the market got spooked by that move, had no idea why that move was happening, and then once it had happened, were too scared to take a trade. Why was that? Because they had no plan. Myself, and I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else, I'm just saying I had put in the hard work to be prepared for another move to the downside. That hard work paid off tenfold, because as soon as I'd seen the move, I knew why it had happened, I was already prepared for it, and I'm able to take my next trade instantly, with no hesitation, no fear, no emotions, just saying the 3 drives was played out. I know my next level of resistance and support. My next level of resistance is clearly where we are up to right now. Okay. Well, obviously prior to that, it was the weekly. Then we got through the weekly and I knew then my next level to the upside. Obviously that weekly was a level of resistance, but we got through the weekly and then we move up to the next level. No. So you can see how key it is to have a plan. Again, I'm not saying this is going to happen. We can just continue up here. I acknowledge that. But what I'm saying is if we fell off a cliff from here, I'm prepared. I'm ready for it. And I'm going to be trading it with a smile on my face. And that's the big thing, to enjoy what you're doing, to enter every day of trading, not as a chore, not to think, oh, I don't want to wake up today, another day of work. How most people wake up, to be honest, most people wake up thinking, oh my God, is it the weekend yet? I wake up every day thinking, hey, it's a weekend again. I just wake up with, tengo muchas ganas de hacer lo que hago. I just wake up thinking, I love what I do. And I absolutely just love this. I can do this 24 hours a day because I just have a genuine love for trading. And I've said it before, it's not the money. It's just the thrill. It's the thrill of the hunt. It's just just to see some of these trades. I mean, you can imagine it yourself now. You have a community of people that are relying on your every single word, and then you pull it out the bag time and time again. you get the messages of support, you get the messages of people saying, hey, you literally have changed my life. You cannot buy that. Yeah, you cannot buy such warmth and actually such compassion that you get from people, and the connection that you can build with these people in the community that we have. This is, it just adds a whole nother layer onto it. It's special. What can I say? It's special. But that's what you want to do. You want to wake up every morning and just feel happy. Just feel like so blessed and happy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want to get too emotional and soppy on you all, but I honestly just love this so much. So obviously, back to the technicals. I don't know where I was going there. So back to the technicals. Yes, we have this next layer of support. If we break down, of course, we then got our weekly, we got our monthly. We can still remember that pitchfork as well, to be honest with you. But yeah. Final words then, I suppose. Probabilistically speaking, yes, we can envision another move to the upside. If that's the case, I can get out of my hedged position and look to continue to ride the trend, which of course is up. Should we break down and crash from here? Well, I'm in a hedge, I'm prepared for it, and I know my next level to the downside. And it's as simple as that. I have now made my bed, I've taken my trades, and I will accept whatever's going to happen next. Yeah, that offers me clarity. This offers me so much calmness. And yes, I can come on these videos and act excited and, losing my brain. But at the end of the day, when I'm trading off camera, I'm just almost robotic with a warmth in my heart. But yeah, that's basically a quick analysis. Well, quick. This video is going on longer than 30 minutes, isn't it? There was my analysis, quick or not. But there you go. That's Bitcoin. We can look at some altcoins now. What I will say, ladies and gentlemen, is I know you're here, and I know the support that we get. If you want to just give some support back, you can hit that like button right now. Hit that like button and turn it blue and just say, and it's just a nice way to say thank you. Yeah, we can obviously reach more people. The more people that we reach, I truly believe more people we can help, because that's really the way I'm thinking right now. We are helping a lot of people, and why not help as much people as possible? That's kind of how this, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, if you want to give a like, really honestly, it's very appreciated, and it will only take you 1 second of your time to. And if you want to share this video with your friends, if you want to share this video with your family, copy the link, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, and share it over email to your granddad, because I know that he wants to get involved in cryptocurrency. I know your next door neighbor has been asking you about, should I buy Shiba coin? Well, send him this video and I will tell him whether to buy Shiba coin or not, as that's what we're moving on to next. Yes, Shiba coin. Shiba. So, where to begin with this coin? Even if you do not trade the next few altcoins that I'm going over, it's definitely still worthwhile listening, yeah? Because it's about the thought processes, it's about the analysis, and it's how you come to conclusions such as we come to. So yeah, even if you do not trade these coins, even if you have no interest in trading them, it's definitely still worthwhile paying full attention to what I talk about, because the same analysis that we use on altcoins can obviously be used on Bitcoin, can be used on the stock market, can be used on commodities, X, Y, and Z. The same analysis applies to every single market in the world. Yeah. So we're going to talk about Shiba coin as Bitcoin is pulling back slightly here. Surprise, surprise. So Shiba coin. Again, we can keep it fairly simple on this. And famous last words. I do want to try and keep this one fairly quick. But I mean, yeah, this has actually been an extreme, for myself, no. But from a lot of other people, this has been an extremely emotionally driven week of trading with this Shiba coin rise. I've seen a lot. Let's just say I've seen a lot. Primarily, obviously, in the Champions group, of emotions flying around. Okay, of emotions flying around. What can I say? But Shiba coin, obviously, this is one. Again, I can give a backstory. This is one that I personally, I can say this proudly. I can say this very proudly, I suppose. But this is a coin that was called by myself at 1 sat, which was a time when I think nobody else in the world was looking at Shiba coin. So this is a kind of a unique one. Yes, people have called Bitcoin. Yes, people have called X, Y, and Z altcoin. But we were, I want to say, one of the first people in the world to recognize Shiba coin very early on. Okay, this was back in the 30th of January 2021. So at the start of January this year was then the first time I recognized and bought some Shiba coin. I'm not going to try and brag about this. I'm just telling you this for hard, cold, what's happened. This was back when it was 1 sat. 1 sat Shiba. That is 0.000000000000001. Yeah, the absolute bottom. You could not have bought it any cheaper than the price we found it. And this is why it's become so emotional. Because obviously now we sit at 0.00007. You might be like, oh, it's still 0.0007. This actually, from the original buy-in, is about 71 million% gains to the upside. Yeah, 71 million% gains. It's kind of crazy. I've said this before in my champions group. This was a total gamble. Of course, this was a gamble. It was 1 sat. If you know me, you know I have a Shiba in you. And basically, I saw a coin called Shiba coin, and I just bought it for literally a gamble, yeah? Because it was like, I have a Shiba Inu coin. I knew Dogecoin was pumping hard. So I knew meme coins are obviously have a potential to pump hard. I knew this was on an exchange I don't trade on. It was on Uniswap, so I had to get someone to do it for me. But at the end of the day, it was still worth for me, like, hey, I'll put some money on this. And I don't care if I lose the money. I couldn't care less about it, sort of thing. So it was like, I'm just going to buy it just because it's Shiba. And then obviously some other people got involved with me. Obviously, Imi commenting, yes, it is worth only 1 sat. It literally cannot go any lower. We obviously had Nicolou, who bought 20 billion Shiba at the 30th of the 1st. 20 billion Shiba, by the way. That's obviously worth millions now. And you see on the next page of comments, Shiba coin I posted today at the start of January. He had bought some as a gamble. We can recognize, 100% we got lucky. I'm not gonna deny you doing 71 million%, the biggest gain you're ever gonna see. Of course, this is very lucky. I'm not going to sit here and say this was done from technicals. This was obviously luck. But at the end of the day, this has been the #1 call. And I know some people are in like disbelief. Some people are, I've received some interesting comments since this. But at the end of the day, this was found at the start of January. To make millions from this is really not difficult. To make billions from this when you're early, few $1,000 has turned into billions of dollars. It's not because of anything good. It's just because you got lucky, yeah. And I'm not going to deny we didn't get lucky, but what's happened has happened, and a massive pump to the upside has occurred. So that leaves us still then what's happening next. I personally still have my original Shiba coin because I actually still think this is a mixture of two things. Even if I wanted to sell the Shiba I have, I actually couldn't because there's actually not even enough liquidity, which is half of this is what you call first world problems, but there's not even enough liquidity to sell. But on top of that, I actually still think we can push higher. Call me crazy, but I do think Shiba coin can push higher here. What I actually found really funny on Shiba coin is levels such as here. As you all know, the Shiba coin has actually been really heavily flooded. A lot of people saying Shiba coin cannot go higher because it's a meme coin. Shiba coin, is a meme. It cannot go higher. X, Y, and Z. Like people say, oh, Elon Musk owns no Shiba. People dumping for these ridiculous reasons. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what asset it is. If you can trade it, you can make money. You can make money on going up. You can make money on it going down. You need to get out of the thought process in crypto right now of it's a meme, so it cannot go up. Yeah, the meme coins are pumping really hard. So, I don't care what it is. I'm just going to trade the charts. And so if we look at the charts here, why do I think Shiba coin can go higher? Well, of course, this is a very high price already. But if we stick this on a log scale, what we're going to do is we're going to take, once again, our Fibonacci extensions from the last high, obviously giving us to our low. If If you watched my video on Shiba already, you already know how I'm been looking at this. Obviously, this was our triangle. And again, remember when people were commenting to me saying, hey, you can't have a triangle in wave 2. How dare you? Well, let's see how this turned out for us. Wave 1, a triangle in wave 2. How dare chart champions do that? Wave 3 going through the 618. Believe we're putting in a wave 4 for another move to the upside. So when we come down on a lower term time frame, what do we have here then to believe we're in a wave 4 with still another move to the upside? Why have I not sold yet? Well, because I actually still believe there's strength in this coin. So there's a few obviously ways that we can look at wave 4. Okay, we can have another triangle. We can definitely have another triangle here, which is obviously going to give us our likely symmetrical triangle, but we continue to build up our higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so we obviously have a potential of a triangle here, which would actually see this still break upwards. The other alternative, which I am totally okay with if it happens, by the way, but the other alternative is that we put in a flat in wave 2, which is actually more like this. An A, B, and then we come down for the C. And then we put in our wave 4. We're obviously still looking for wave 5. Would I be cautious longing for the wave 5? Yes, because wave 5s are not going to be as strong as wave 1. But we then obviously still can trade this as a range. If we get the flat, what you are going to want to see, again, it can take the highs for an extended, but what you're going to want to see is on the come down of wave C, you're actually going to want to see something like this with a move back below the lows and the reclaim. So just like we traded the head and shoulders fake out, you kind of want to see the same and actually look for the reclaim. Not financial advice. I have to stress this. Of course, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm definitely not telling anybody what to do. But let's just say this is the way I would look at this for educational reasons. This is the way that I would approach this market, with a move back below the low and a reclaim of your prior lows. If you can reclaim that floor after basically running liquidity, this is how you need to generate liquidity. It's like if I want to exit my positions, again, I'm kind of in a first world problem where it's hard to exit liquid positions. If I want to exit such positions, you need to force lots of liquidity, and that's why I personally believe that we'll get another push to the upside. Call this like mean world or not, but people that are holding trillions of Shiba are going to want to sell at some point. You don't just hold on to this coin forever. It's not the coin that you hold on forever. So how do you generate such liquidity? You need to see lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people buying. If we breach these highs, if you start to get these news articles over the news, yeah, it's already starting to happen. If you run this up another 20%, you're going to start getting the news articles. You're going to start to get massive FOMO. You're going to start to get people thinking, hey, I'm going to buy sheep because it's going to $10, whatever the story is. There's going to be articles to generate liquidity. I can almost guarantee it. And this is the time that you're going to kind of want to get a bit scared, because this is the time where people are probably going to want to sell. And there's enough liquidity then to sell. Not got it at the moment. Push it up again. Yeah, I think you get it. So just remember those words, yeah. That's my thought process of why we'll rise again. So basically, yeah, overall, still bullish on sheep. Again, you can keep this extremely, extremely, extremely simple. You do not want to overcomplicate Shiba coin. It's not the coin to overcomplicate on. Bitcoin, we can become very intrinsic. We can dive deep into Bitcoin. We can use the order flow on Bitcoin. What's order flow for the people that don't know? Order flow is obviously looking at this. We can go very, 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 very in depth. And this is, in my opinion, a requirement. You have to go in depth if you want to trade Bitcoin well. Do you need to go in depth to trade Shiba coin well? No. Period. You don't. So I'm not going to, I don't even bother to do order flow on this. It's just like, keep it simple. Keep it looking at patterns. Keep it looking at Fibonacci. Yeah. Fibonacci patterns, the harmonics on this, they're working very well. Market structure. Simple stuff. Yeah. Doesn't need to be difficult. Really, it doesn't. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Shiba. Why I'm expecting higher. I personally haven't sold any of my Shiba. And yes, how we literally called this when it was at the absolute low. Nobody in the world had a better entry than us at Chart Champions when I first called that on the 30th of January. And if that isn't impressive, I really don't know what is, because that is the #1 biggest call in the world. Come on, that's pretty amazing. That's Pretty amazing. Obviously, some of the success stories that we've had, just to share a few, hopefully not to make you jealous, but to make you like, wow, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty inspirational. Somebody changing $210 into $324 million. There was somebody from within our group, by the way. $200 to $320 million. It's pretty insane. You obviously have people getting and buying private jets. I mean, the profits that have been made from this coin have been absolutely incredible. Private jets, 300 million. Obviously, the guy that bought 20 billion Shibas, I think he sold it for some reason early still made $250,000 profit from his Shiba, but he sold a little bit early. Let's not lie. Could have made so many millions, but nevertheless, 250k from $100. That was, by the way, $100 at the time, 250k, $324 million from $200, and enough to buy private jets. I mean, people are doing well, but this is the thing that I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, is you don't need to go and try and find all of the random next Shiba coin. This is what's going to happen right now, and I do want to get back to the analysis here. But this is a really important 2-minute section. I want to talk about something that's very, 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 very important. Yeah, really. I've already seen it myself. People are starting to search for the next Shiba coin. The next coin to do, that was at the time, 70 million% gains to the upside. People are going to be searching for this, and people are going to shill with the wrong intentions. Please be really, really careful, especially over the next month. It's going to become a thing. People are going to search for the next Shiba coin. You have to remember that this is a lottery. We got extremely lucky. I would say this is a 1 in a 10 million call. This is extremely lucky. And the only reason I got so lucky is because I owned a Shiba Inu. I have a Shiba Inu. You know, it's my dog, it's my brother. And, you know, I bought some for a gamble, and other people just followed me on this because people kind of follow what I do, to be honest with you. But it was a 1 in 10 million. The likelihood of you buying the next Shiba coin is very, 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 very low probabilities. I've seen people trying to do it already, and they got rug pulled. Yeah, there was a coin today. It's called something like Baby Shibazilla coin. And I warn people, do not buy this. It's not going to work. And I actually jokingly said, I'm going to short this to teach you a lesson. And it pumped like 100%. And then it got rug pulled and it dropped to 0. And this is going to occur a lot. People are going to rug pull. Just be really, really, please just be really cautious. Please be really careful. Like, just think about what you're doing before you do it. Do not risk more money than you can afford to lose. If you invest in anything, you have to treat it as lost money. If you're investing in these coins, which are total gambles, please just think you've lost the money before you've even made anything. And if you can truly afford to lose it, hey, it's a gamble. You don't care if you lose the money. But if you're investing money that's for the rent, you know, if you're investing money that you need to buy food, just do not do it. Just turn off the computer and walk away, and come back in a month when things have calmed down, because there is going to be a lot of FOMO. And I know I can generate FOMO by like showing these crazy massive gains. I'm not trying to generate FOMO with these. I'm just trying to generate, hey, this is what's happened, you know? So yes, it's possible, but you have to remember it's very unlikely as well. And I will tell this to everybody. You are much more, probabilistically speaking, you are much more likely to make money by trading Bitcoin, using our levels, and doing this consistently every single day, than you are to find the next Shiba coin. Yeah? Trading Bitcoin is very easy. I will say this myself. This is not hard to trade when you know what you're doing. You can extract 5% a day from this market, in my opinion, relatively easy. Anywhere between 1 and 5% realistic gains when you know what you're doing. Finding the next Shiba coin, not very likely. Yeah, just trading Bitcoin, you can do it. Yeah, you can become millionaire. You can become whatever you want to become. Yeah, don't put a price number on it. You can become very successful with just Bitcoin. Period. You do not need all the alts. Okay, that's just something to bear in mind and remember. So yeah, the next coin that I want to cover, obviously we've covered Bitcoin, we've covered Shiba coin. The next coin that I want to cover is another coin that I actually personally really like. Let me just take a quick drink. Yeah, the next coin that I want to cover is BIT. This is obviously a Bybit coin. I personally, obviously, am affiliated with Bybit. I love Bybit. I'm not going to hide that. Yeah, I love Bybit. I own Bit, obviously from lower. I'm not trying to, this is something that I think is really, 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 really important to remember. I am just, when I talk about alts, it's talking about alts that I like. It's talking about alts that I believe in. I'm not going to be shilling you, or I'm not in this for my own gain. Yeah, I'm not in this to try and pump a coin I own. This is just not why I'm doing any of this. If you actually, it's like I was writing in the group to my champions today, I have called several good altcoins. I was calling Tezos at the very lows, Atom at the very lows, Algo at the very lows. The altcoins that I call are low. They're almost at all-time lows. I would never openly tell people to buy things that are at all-time highs, because it's like, it's just, obviously there's a lot more risk and less potential rewards. I have been talking about this coin for a while, and I personally believe it has a good future. But let's go into the technicals of this. Yeah, so this is obviously BIT, up today 12%. It obviously has a launch pad on Bybit at the moment. There was a new coin on the launch pad today. It done well. BIT is up 12%. Okay, but we can go over the technicals now. So first things first, of course, if you want to sign up to Bybit, you can actually right now get 10% off all of your trading fees and a $3,500 free deposit bonus via the affiliate link and our referral code 3Yankee 6 Yankee Oscar. Okay, I will leave that in the comments into the side down below pinned, and also in the comments to the right hand side of the screen. If you would like to sign up to Bybit, this is obviously an affiliate link. You get the advantage of having money off your trading fees and $3,500, up to $3,500 for free. To get the max deposit, of course, you have to deposit more money. And obviously, we get the advantage of having a cutback on your fees. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. This is why I'm personally okay to promote this link, because I love the exchange. It's where I trade. You win, I win. It's kind of a no-brainer why not to promote that affiliate link. So if you want to make use of that, I'll leave it in the comments down below and to the side. You can sign up to Bybit and make use of the free deposit bonus and money off trading fees. Win-win, no? So with that said, this is obviously Bybit, the BIT token. This is the token of Bybit. Is it going to do another BNB? So obviously there's a few things to bear in mind right now. You are looking at the all-time high. Is this a good time to buy? Maybe if you're looking 5 years into the future, buying here is a good idea. But if you're looking into, the next 2 days, the reward to the risk is obviously massively outweighs. So please take massive caution. I'm not telling people to buy this here, because this is really, I think we go higher. But still, yeah, use some common sense on this. So I actually think this is similar somewhat to coins such as Solana, coins such as BNB, coins such as Shiba. They're similar patterns, and we all know how they ended. Yeah. So this one actually showed a lot of strength. It showed actually a lot of strength. Never even broke down from the first low, and again it kind of put in this little flat. Okay, so you come down in the end, a strong A, B, C in the 2. I'm just going to hide those waves, and obviously we're impulsing out, in my opinion, from it right now. So how do we look at then the targets of this? We're getting our Fibonacci extension from the low of the impulse to the high of the impulse to the end of wave. Let's just go from the bottom of A. And we can look at our first target as the 1-to-1. Let's just delete this moon icon. We can look at the first target, obviously, as a 1-to-1. This is a conservative target, so to speak, because a wave 3 is generally going to go to at least the 1618. But nevertheless, this is a potential zone that you can turn around. 1-to-1 is always a nice take profit. Wouldn't short a 1-to-1, wouldn't close out of a long. We can look to take a percentage of profits, be it only 10%. Still good to pay yourself. Bigger target is obviously the 1618 extension plus. But we can be conservative and say that the next big resistance is sitting at there at around $2.80. In a perfect world for people, I suppose, you would want to see a rejection. If you want to get involved, I suppose, in a perfect world for people that are not already in this, you may want to see something like this with a heavier pullback. And then you'd be looking at a diagonal. Now you'd look at this to end in some sort of rising wedge. That's what people are going to want if they're not involved. They're going to want the heavier pullback back to around $2, and then from $2 you're going to want to see your last impulse. The only thing to remember is with a diagonal, it's really weak. Could see you overall back down at around $1.80. But again, I'm thinking really far into the future. I don't necessarily think that we get a diagonal, but if you got a diagonal in your Elliott waves, you could definitely see back down at $1.80. Wouldn't be that much of a surprise. If we see strength, of course, we do not get a diagonal. We get a proper impulse, and we're looking at a bigger target of around $3.30 for, $4 or $5. It is going to be somewhat correlated to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin crashes, Bit is going to crash. This coin is not going to be able to hold up against Tether if Bitcoin crashes. So obviously keep an eye on Bitcoin. If this does pull back heavily, we're not saying it is, by the way, but if Bitcoin heavily pulls back, bits and most altcoins are going to heavily pull back. If Bitcoin can remain range bound, if it can hold above 60k, of course, this increases the probabilities that Bit is going to actually continue upwards. And then we would be looking towards that $3. So please keep an eye on Bitcoin. It's very correlated in terms of you want to see Bitcoin going sideways or up for bit strength. If Bitcoin is crashing down, it's kind of not a good time to be massively in altcoins, yeah? There's a time to be protected, there's a time to be safe, and there's time to be aggressive and trying to take the most out of the market, I suppose. I feel right now is a really good time to take advantage of the altcoins because Bitcoin is sideways at the very least / up. If Bitcoin is crashing down, I would not be so interested in altcoins. Currently, Bitcoin is not crashing down, so I'm still trading alts. So that's the way that I would look at Bit. I do believe that we are impulsing up to the upside. I think our big level of resistance, $2.80. Could it fall down from where we are here? Yes. That's going to be dependent on Bitcoin. As long as Bitcoin can hold up, there's no reason to think we cannot move up another to the 1-to-1 extension here on Bit. I think overall the future of this coin is nice. I do not want to shill people this. Again, it makes no difference to my life if you buy this coin or not. If this coin goes to $2 million, it makes zero difference to my life in the slightest. Yeah. So I'm not doing this for the money because just honestly, I'm not trying to shill you this coin. It just makes no difference to me in the slightest what this coin does. I'm trading this because I just love to trade. It's just, this is a video game for me. And when you play video games, you want to be right. If I wasn't trading right now, I would be playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So, I'm just a total nerd. I just totally love this. And, I just don't want people to think, because the typical YouTube video is going to be someone shilling an altcoin because they want to pump their bags and they want to basically use the liquidity of pumping the bags to sell. And people basically shill altcoins to sell to their followers. Yeah. And it's really, really, really unethical. And I just don't want people to think that I'm falling into this kind of category because it makes me feel sick. I just don't want anyone to think this. So I'm not trying to shield this, but I do think it has a good future. I do like Bybit. But I obviously am urging real big caution. I do not think this is a good area in the locally to buy because you just like, yeah, it's really nice if you've bought lower down. I have been in this from lower down. Obviously, Bybit airdropped for free thousands of dollars of Bit. So if you're watching this and you trade on Bybit, the likelihood is you have at least $1,000 a bit because they literally gave it away in an airdrop. So I know a lot of people have this from lower because they literally had it for free if you are on the exchange. So, hopefully that reduces the FOMO. And overall, yeah, you got the lower support of $2, $1.80 if you get the diagonal in the Elliott waves. We can come back to $1.80. Overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's absolutely fine. On the short term, yes, pulling back to $1.80 is a retracement of 30%. So that's why you want to take a bit of caution. If we're looking 5 years into the future, it doesn't matter so much. If we're looking as traders, which we're trying to, we're trading this, 30% truly obviously matters. So again, it's going to be dependent somewhat on Bitcoin. Let's keep an eye on this. We all know the resistance that we're up, right? I mean, you have to admit this is pretty amazing. We hit the high, $63,050. Yeah, we took basically 63K and we got our pullback. This is the thing, because we're protected. It's so fine. It's so good. Yeah, it just feels really good. And I digress. Yeah, so obviously the altcoins that I am obviously really liking are the altcoins that you see listed here. Every single altcoin here, by the way, is on Bybit. Yes, GRT, the graph token, is now on Bybit, which is really good. But yeah, the graph, obviously they added Alice the other day, have been trading Alice. That's now on Bybit. The graph's on Bybit. Algo is on Bybit. Atom is on Bybit. Dot is on Bybit. They've added a lot of new altcoins, which is fun, obviously, which is great. So these are all available now to trade on Bybit. So that's obviously nice because it's the only exchange I trade on. Yeah, that's kind of, let me see what people are saying right now. His speech confidence dropped dramatically. Oh man, I'm not scared talking about bit. I'm not scared about talking about bit. Somebody says I'm not scared about talking about bit. I am very confident in my own trades. But what you have to think is I'm extremely confident in the way I'm trading bit. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know exactly where to get out. I know exactly where to add more. But I have, like I've said, I've been doing this 10 years. What I have to think is my demographic. Some people are really new. Some people are going to just blindly do stuff. Like, I have to be really responsible. I just have to be really responsible. So I cannot just blindly tell people to buy this, because then if it drops, people are going to lose money and people are going to get wrecked. And I'm just not a guy that can be happy with that. They're just not going to be happy. I'm just going to feel really bad. So I have to just think, I'm better to be protective and people miss making gains than being overly aggressive and people lose money. Yeah, it's always better to miss out than lose money. Yeah, it's like some people missed on sheep, some people made billions of dollars. But if you missed sheep, you didn't lose anything. So it's like, who really cares? But if you had lost money on it, well, then it obviously matters a lot. So, I'm just cautious on that regard, because I'm just aware where we are at all-time highs. Yeah. It's just a responsibility, I think. I'm here to help people, not to get them wrecked. And yeah, so there we go. That basically is Bitcoin. I suppose I can end with a nice motivational speech to end. As people always like the motivational speeches to end. Bitcoin, here's a bit of a motivational one for you. Here on Bitcoin, we had 3 major drops. The drop to $29,000, the drop to $39,000, and the fake out of the head and shoulders. Yes, I called every single one. This is trade of the week, obviously, from the Champions live stream. Preempting the fake out to counter trade. Everybody gets stopped trading the falling wedge. Bam. This obviously hit a new all-time high. Called in advance on the Champions live stream. That was trade number 1, which called this low. Then we have another low here. Well, guess who called that one? Yes, once again, I also did call that low in a trade of the week inside of the Champions live streams. Do look for that long off of around $39,800, $500. Yeah, that, surprise, surprise, caused this major low. Then the next trade of the week, obviously, that filled was this fake out of the head and shoulders. Pump for the head and shoulders. We got the retest. Obviously, it's currently sitting in profits. We'll wait and see what happens to this. Obviously, a take profit one has been hit on this trade. Just something to bear in mind. But overall, we have timed. I've personally called this low, and this low. So that's what's possible when you know what you're doing. I suppose, as always, I would say if you want to see more from me, obviously, chartchampions.com. We obviously have a educational service. So if you want to learn about what we're doing, that's the place to be. Obviously, we do have those the updates in the day where I'm going through updates, giving my analysis, giving the sort of levels that I'm looking towards, looking what I want to do off of those levels, and sometimes giving hints on exploding altcoins. That's obviously for the champions group, but we have the contenders, we have the champions. Obviously, you get things like this. Yesterday, I done a random live stream, unannounced, just a special live stream, and it helps people, you know. Obviously, every Wednesday, every Sunday, I do the live streams, you know. So we got this educational group to, you know, educate people and help them. A lot of people saying Cardano. I'll take a look. I mean, I've never seen so many comments saying Cardano before. Yeah, I'll take a look at Cardano. For taking a look at Cardano, all I would say is pump up that like button. Yeah, get that like button above right now. Get the like button above 1,600, and I will end for Cardano. Yeah. Above 1,600, we'll do Cardano for you. Otherwise, I'll just end by saying this. What can I end with saying? I suppose I'll probably end about talking about some of the gains that were made on Shiba Coin. I personally have made insane amount on Shiba Coin. All I will say is this. Please, if you also have made a lot of money on Shiba Coin, you got to stay grounded. Yeah. Obviously, not long ago, I done the Dubai trip 2 weeks ago. I was obviously in Dubai. I met some Moonboy YouTubers and some other interesting people. And what I noticed is money can corrupt. There's a little on edge talking about it, but money can corrupt you. Yeah. I saw this with my own eyes. And as somebody that can openly say, for me, you know, how do I say this in a way that doesn't sound like being a total jerk? Like, you know, I have done well enough in life that money has become irrelevant, so to speak. Yeah, I have enough money to survive the next 100 generations down in my family. Is that nice? Of course, it's a brilliant feeling. I understand that money equates to freedom. But what you have to be really careful of is you're in this to make money, of course. You're trading to make money. You're trading to be free. I totally understand that. But what I have seen with my own eyes is that if you are not careful, it can definitely corrupt you in a way of money becomes the center of your life. You're doing things to try and impress other people. Like, it's insane. Like, I felt really uncomfortable in Dubai because all people want to do is try and like show off. You know, people are trying to impress me with their cars. People are trying to impress me with X, Y, and Z thing that they've bought. And for me, it's just like, this doesn't impress me in the slightest. I couldn't care less about this car that you bought, you know. But people are becoming really corrupted. Like, they just want to buy this to like flex on social media. And it's just really horrible. I mean, I'm not gonna, people can do whatever they want. If that makes them happy, fair play. But I don't think deep down it makes you happy. Yeah, I just don't think it really makes you happy. How can you be happy deep down? Like, with the actually happy from your heart? Yeah. I've done it because I've done things like this in the past, and I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else because I have done these dumb things in my life. Yeah, going out, buy the brand new Ferrari, and it's like, yeah, it's nice for a week, and then you want another car. And it's like the cycle doesn't end. So how do you actually get true happiness that actually is happiness, not just a temporary happiness from buying the latest car, from buying the best clothes, X, Y, and Z? The only way you can actually be happy is by actually loving what you do. waking up every morning with a smile, waking up every morning with your kids, with a lovely wife or husband or whoever this is, or somebody that you love next to you. Be this your kids, be this your wife. You want to cherish things like this. Say hello, say you love your family every single day. Yeah, cherish what you have, because you never know what you've got till it's gone. And I could promise you this, obviously my father has died. And I will tell you this, it's like, you just want to cherish your family, cherish your friends, and just treat them. Just treat them, make them smile, make them happy, because this is truly the best thing in life. It's like sharing the connections with people, with your friends, family, friends. This is so much more important than money. Yes, it's nice to have money because you can treat them, you can donate to charity, you can donate to people in need. That's a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to go and waste all your money on cars, on expensive items to show off. Yeah. And what I want to just is, and I'm not trying to preach. I know it's kind of like a really weird situation. I don't want to try and preach, and I don't want to try and look down on others that do this. I'm just trying to say from my experiences, there's a greater satisfaction in life above money that you cannot buy from money. Yeah. And you need to try and work out yourself what that is. And if you become successful in trading, if you make loads of money from trading, please, use it really well. Yeah, you've got something really special which many people don't have. Just use it wisely. Yeah, just use it wisely, and don't think of yourself. Think of others maybe before you think of yourself. This is a good motto to live by. Make someone else happy before you make yourself happy. I know people that will flex on social media, and then their family are not living good. So I think, like, how can people flex on social media, partying on yachts, buying the latest car, buying X, Y, and Z, while their family are still slaving away in 9-to-5 jobs. It's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel right to me. Anyway, I digress. I move off of this. Have we got? Yes, we've got over 1,600. Let's do Cardano. Sorry. Cardano, yeah, for me, this is actually really easy, to be honest with you. Cardano is one that I have been tracking now we've been trading Cardano for years. Yeah, very, very, very long time trading Cardano. This was literally back in August, where we knew the resistance Cardano was coming into. We come up into the CC on the weekly, and Cardano was obviously pulled back in terms of percentage, nearly 50% pullback. I truly believe Cardano is at an absolutely crucial support. This is obviously the time to look getting into Cardano, in my opinion. Here you look to buy pullbacks. I suppose once again, the best scenario here on Cardano would be to lose the monthly and then reclaim it. That would be obviously an entry trigger. The thing you have to be slightly cautious of is if it does not reclaim and it just does the retest and down, there's still quite a big drop on Cardano. But this is obviously a big, massive, massive, massive important support. So you are at the massive support, which is the monthly. We rejected extremely technically well off the weekly and CC. How can you be surprised about this? I gave massive warnings back in August on Cardano. I gave such big warnings to people. And people laughed at me and people trolled me for telling them to exercise caution. And I think that Cardano is going to retrace. I remember it very well. Not to say, I hate to say it, but I told you so. This was a massive, 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 massive resistance. Yeah, this was back in August on this and done in this analysis. Now we've retraced back to the monthly. This is a massive support. Yeah, you do not look to buy resistance, you look to buy support. If, though, we lose this support, it can easily drop another 40%. Just be cautious. This is the thing. It's not going to be easy, but this is a very easy. This is a very good trade for traders. This is a clear support. If this support is lost, we look down towards our next area of support. That's another 40% to the downside. But as it stands, Cardano, crucial support. Easiest setup, I suppose, would be a loss of the monthly and a reclaim. That showed the deviation. That would show your first sign of strength. The second sign of strength would be to change this local downtrend, which has been absolutely insanely strong. Just continuous lower highs and lower lows. So what could be your preferred scenario would be obviously another move down and then start to change that trend. Yeah, change the trend, bullish market structure, run the lows. That would be a good setup on Cardano. That's something that I would trade. Let's just say that. And so, yeah, I do think Cardano is very interesting. Good that people are liking it at support, because a few months ago, everybody was aping into this one at resistance. At least you asked now at good areas. So, yeah, I think Cardano is nice. So you take a final look at Bitcoin then, and look at that, just continuously down. And that's why you protect yourself. I'm not saying that this cannot just pump up, but at least I was protected during this live stream. Now I can finish the live stream and decide if I want to go and ape into a massive long or not. But it's always nice to see levels respected perfectly. You know, that's always nice. Yeah, I suppose that's it then, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed, smash the likes, share the video with your friends and family. If you want to sign up to Bybit, that's obviously our affiliate link, and that is the referral code. If you want to see more from me, obviously chartchampions.com. This is our website. If you want to see the insights, 5 steps ahead of the competition, then this is obviously things called Trade of the Week. That's obviously for the champions. If you want the active chat group where I'm around pretty much every day, well, literally I am active every single day. This is all I do pretty much. Then obviously this is for the champions as well. For all the educational material, that's for the contenders and the champions. I would always tell people you really want to learn, because if you don't know what you're doing, I think you're going to lose money, to be honest with you. So yeah, make your own, make an informed decision, do some research, ask people what they think. You're more than welcome to message people, ask them for an honest review. I think you'll find we have a 99% satisfaction rate. People love what we do. So yeah, I'll continue doing it. I suppose I'll just end with that. I hope you've enjoyed. I truly have. And honestly, I'm now going to go over on Twitch and play Zelda. I'm going to go over and relax with some video games, because that's what I do. So yeah, maybe I'll see you over on Twitch. It's obviously twitch.tv/chartchampions. We'll chill out and yeah, talk some crypto or talk some video games. For everybody else, hope you thoroughly enjoyed this. Hope you've understood the way that I come about my ideas. Hope you understood the next levels of support and resistance. And yeah, I'll see you on Sunday. My next live stream will be Sunday for the champions, in the champions live stream. So boom, catch you on Sunday. Thank you ever so much. And I suppose I'll end with CC Pool. Send their regards. Cheers, everybody. Thank you and goodbye. Cheers.